Okay, you'll notice that it didn't come in with any dimensions. This should have been automatically dimensioned for me if I'd set my parameters correctly. So I'm going to hit undo to all of this, and I'm going to go set my parameters, or my preferences, I should say. And what we're going to do is turn on create geometrical dimensional constraints. So geometrical constraint is like that tangent symbol. Dimensional constraints are values that you can edit. So for example, I'm going to turn these off and hit OK. You'll notice this time when I do my corner and select these two edges here, come on, and then just drag it to a location, I don't have my tangent symbol showing up. So if I don't do that, I have to come back. Remember this trick where you use your control button and grab two elements you want tangent and use the dialog box. That's the second icon, second constraint. Then you have to turn on tangent. Oh, and then I turn something off so it won't do it. So I say okay. These are geometrical constraints because these are all symbols. Everything with a symbol is a geometrical constraint. I'll select OK to that. See, it goes away. Let's turn this on and go back to preference. And I can turn this on. You'll see nothing happens, right? I'll go hit apply, say OK, and we'll try and undo the control button. Use the second box to do your tangent. Okay, and I still get that symbol because I need geometrical constraints turned on. If I use the control button and grab both elements again, it'd be nice if I could grab all three and then go to constraint. See, tangent is not an option. So I have to do one at a time using the control button, and I can pick my tangent. Okay, and I still need to do tangent up here. But see, I wouldn't even recommend that. I'm just going to undo all this. Oops. I'm doing Control Z and Control Y on my keyboard to go back and forth. If I go to corner and select these two lines and place a corner there, you get your tangent symbols. So that did that because I had geometrical constraints turned on. If I turn dimensional constraints on and hit OK, when I do a corner on the other side, I can come down here with the tool palette over on that side and I can type in a 1/2 inch radius. Not only will I get my tangent symbols, I get my radius value that allows me to edit that at any time. Okay, so I'll undo that. When I do the chamfer and I select these two lines and I come down here and I say first length is a 1/2 inch at a 45-degree angle, it adds the 45-degree angle. It doesn't exactly put it where I like it, but it adds it on there so I can see that it's a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch and a 45-degree angle. So again, I'll change that to a 1/4 inch. Notice it changes that chamfer because under my preferences, I had set up the geometrical constraints and dimensional constraints to be active. So that's why you want to have these two here on. So let's do a chamfer. Select the top line first and this line here. Put my cursor over here and type in a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. Notice the dimension came up here this time. All right, so let's create a rectangle below. And we'll create another chamfer. Last time I used this line first. Let's try this line first and this line first. And then I'll drag the palette down here and go a 1/4 inch. Notice that the first selection determines which dimension it's going to create. So I would recommend selecting the horizontal line first, telling the shop to measure over a 1/4 inch and then chop it at 45. Again, if I go to chamfer and select this line first and this line, and then go down here and do a position of a 1/4 inch, it created the constraint up. Whoops, accidentally changed the value. One thing you might have to do is zoom up so you can grab the dimension line and move that around. Okay, so this looks a lot better to dimension it this way, grabbing that horizontal line first rather than the vertical line. That's how you want to have that dimension for your chamfer. This is not preferred. This and this, that's the preferred technique. Let's do one more chamfer with the tool palette down here, and I grab this line first and this line, and then I come down here and I type in the 1/4 inch. Sometimes it has the smarts and knows to go up. Sometimes it does something really weird. So you might try and drag your tool palette towards the center so it doesn't do anything weird, or if it is doing something weird, try it again with the tool palette located to the center of where your corners and chamfers are going to be.